Hey guys, welcome to Wager Talk TV. My name is Minty. Joining me today, I have Drew Martin at Drew Martin Bets on Twitter and Teddy Covers at Teddy_Covers on Twitter. We're going to be discussing Philadelphia at Atlanta, the Dirty Birds versus the Eagles. What do you think, Drew?
I think it's an interesting matchup, and these two teams have played each other a lot. I don't know, you just look at Julio Jones and his targets in this series, 409 yards versus Philadelphia the last 3 years. But there is questions on the Atlanta offensive line that I think come into question. But still, being at home, Mercedes-Benz Stadium, I've been there. It gets raucous Sunday night, going to be a lot of people. In Philadelphia, I'm sure is going to travel as well. So it should be a fun atmosphere. But I do think that the home team comes back, bounce back mode after week one and wins this game. Pretty much a pick the winner type of game, Teddy.
Yeah.
If you watch the two teams week one, it's hard to take Atlanta this week. Because, they did not look good in any aspect of the game against Minnesota. They had a very rough outing. Their offensive line got beat up. Matt Ryan didn't look sharp. And a defense that's been bad the last 3 years, guess what? They were bad again. There's no sugarcoating what the Falcons defense did against the Vikings. Minnesota was able to do whatever they wanted to in that game on offense. So it wasn't a great defense last year. We all said injuries. It wasn't a great defense the year before. We all said talent. It wasn't a great defense the year before. We all said coaching. Well, here it is, a crappy defense again in week one, and that makes me a little bit reluctant to look at the Atlanta side in this game. I don't trust them to get stops. That being said, Philly's defense, they got gashed early. And then they figured it out, and they dominated the line of scrimmage. And yeah, the Redskins had that late touchdown drive against a prevent defense to get in the back door. But what was it, 32-3 once Philly went on their run? It was a pretty one-sided game. And normally, in week two, you see the betting markets, the broader markets, they're going to like the team that needs the win against the team that's fat and happy. And you'll see that across the board as the markets move throughout the course of the week. Not this game. This game, the money's come on Philly because Philly's the better of these two teams. The markets know it.
And Teddy, you bring up the week one Atlanta not looking good, though. Why didn't they look good? Mainly because they were behind. Having to play from behind in the NFL can work against you. We saw the, block punt,
everything looked bad. Everything, the offensive line couldn't block. And there weren't open receivers. Ryan wasn't comfortable in the pocket, and the defense got gashed. It wasn't just they fell behind early. They fell behind early because they stunk.
It doesn't always carry over from week one, week two. And when you go back year to year,
for sure.
You got to remember that last year you brought up, up 28-3 in the Super Bowl. So it wasn't all, downhill from there. Objection to everything.
We have to talk about what happened last year, because last year Atlanta went to Philly opening day, and 18-12? Was it 16-12? It was a tight game. Neither team looked good on offense. The Falcons didn't have it done in week one. And then they went home 3 consecutive games, and they scored like 38, 30. They were in the 30s in all 3 games over the next 3 weeks. So do we say, well, this is what they did last year. They're capable of doing that again once they return home? Absolutely. Do we also say, oh, it was Philadelphia's defense that shut them down last year? Well, we have to think about that as well. I lean Eagles.
Eagles.
Clearly.
All right.
I lean Dirty Birds.
Really? Okay. Well, thank you guys. $9 Monday at wagertalk.com and sportsmemo.com. All daily packages for Monday's action are only $9, including any 5% best bets normally priced at $40.